Welcome back to the Good, the Bad and the Ugly podcast with me, Tony Murrell. This week's special guest is the UK's most feared comedian, Frankie Allen. Frankie shares incredible stories from his career, including his hilarious experiences performing in the roughest clubs around the UK, unforgettable moments with rowdy audiences. Get ready for a mix of laughs, insight and behind-the-scenes tales from one of the boldest voices in British comedy. Thanks for listening and watching this episode.
On the stage, I'm very, very different than when I'm off stage. I say things and I even come off and I'm driving home going, oh no. I said, look at your teeth, you look like a rat peeping through a toilet brush. And I was go, Frankie Allen wanted to go, but I didn't.
Welcome to the Good, the Bad and the Ugly podcast with me, Tony Murrell, and this week's special guest is the UK's most feared comedian, Frankie Allen.
Tony, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, Frankie. How are we?
Great, doing great, fantastic.
Listen, really looking forward to sharing the Good, the Bad and the Ugly with us. I've known you for over, say, 20 years.
25 years or something, for Holton Leeds, a long time, yeah.
Yeah, from the Legion when you've done shows for us back in the past, but absolutely buzzing that you've come on, and I know you've been doing a little bit of a tour and stuff, and you've been all over the country, and you've been smashing it as usual, mate.
Yeah, we're doing great. We go everywhere, thanks to Will. You know, Will manages me, doesn't he, and does everything and drives me everything. I'm so eternally grateful to him. You know, we're really storming it now. We're doing great, thank God. And about time.
Enjoy seeing the vlogs and all out of you there, your travels.
The podcast, the vlogs, and everything. It all helps. You know, it all helps people give a kind of an image of you, you know, and they identify with you. Yeah.
It's great seeing you in the car travelling to various places up and down the country. And you're just driving along, and then what next thing you're filming, you're just talking away. But people want to see all that though, don't they? Do you know what I mean?
They want to see real life. Sometimes me and Will are always arguing in the car over different things, you know. But he always cuts it out. But I said, I should leave that.
Yeah.
Real life, fly on the wall, you know.
You could be fucking having a kip or something, and he's just filming and stuff.
Filming me.
No, listen. Our podcast, we want to have a bit of a laugh, and we're going to go over some stories where we've worked together and, you know, antics that's gone on, and, you know, worked with some big people like Howard Kendall and some of, you know, the Liverpool players you've had the honour to work with. And I just want to go over some of the stuff that you've done over the years and stuff. But I just want to start from where you grew up, where you're from, family life and school life.
In Liverpool, Old Swan, you know,
from the Swan,
from the Swan. From when I was a kid, Binns Road in Old Swan. My mum was brought up in the Swan. My dad was from down the South End, down Stanhope Street, you know, Windsor Street.
Yeah.
Like everyone else in Liverpool, we were kind of like Irish descent, you know, really. Yeah. My mum's family, they came from Ireland. And my granddad, he didn't come over from Dublin until he was about 16. But on my mum's side, they were they were like Irish, but Spanish as well, you know. So my mum, when I was a kid, she played in a Latin American dance band. Yeah. She played the accordion and she sang, played the piano and all that, you know. So from when I was a kid, I used to go around the clubs with her.
Well, she done all that, like, yeah?
So I was in the clubs when I was like 5 or 4, when my dad was working and he couldn't get a babysitter. I used to go with my mum. So it kind of like, the stage didn't hold any fear for me, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you seen it
from used to it.
An early age, you seen it from there, yeah?
Right from the word go, yeah, I was on the stage.
And brothers and sisters and that, Frank?
Yeah, I've got 2 brothers. I had 3 brothers. I lost our Bill when he was a kid, sadly, and I've just lost my sister this year, you know.
Yeah. But I bet he's had some crazy times, you know, with what, 4 or 5 years, was it?
Well, yeah, we, like everybody else, not just in Liverpool, probably all over the UK, really. When I grew up, you know, there wasn't a lot of money around. You made your own fun. You used to have a good laugh, you know, and it was great having a brother and a bit of an older brother in case anybody bullied you in school or whatever. It's all that, you know, and I had another brother who was a bit younger, so the way it was. And my sister, she was great because she was only 2 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So she'd find out if any birds that she knew fancied me, and she'd let me know, you know. But if I said to her, get us off, what about your mate, that one that died? Oh yeah, well let me have a word with it and all that, you know. So it was all that. It was great.
Yeah. From there, school, what was school like? Did you enjoy school? Or
I enjoyed school, and Tony, it's a strange thing really, because my grandmother was dead funny, you know, very, very funny, but she was always skitting at everyone, you know. Even like he'd make something to eat. And I remember my granddad coming in one day, she brought, you know, and she said something, he said, where'll be some arters, you know, for the dinner and all that. And she used to get a knife and she did the plate and she'd go, hey, that's not a tomato. I've never been in the company of tomatoes, you know. You know, like very old-fashioned kind of like Liverpool, very quick.
Quick and witty, yeah.
Liverpool people who've got that Scottish, Irish descent, they're very quick-witted. And she was like that. She'd make anyone laugh. She'd make a cat laugh. And I remember when I was a kid, my mum and my aunties and my grandmother, they'd sit in the house full of smoke and they'd be slagging everyone and you know, and so-and-so,
typical household.
Scousers, and they'd be going, so-and-so, isn't he tall? Thomas's lad's tall. And one of my other aunts, he's tiny, got thrown out the army, they're all tiny. Having a go at everyone. They never had a parrot, never had a carrot, and she's skids, and they're looking through the window and all that. It was all gossip on it.
Yeah.
But it was very funny, the things they used to say about people, you know what I mean?
I think what's her name? I remember we had Chrissy Dock on and she said exactly the same. Yeah. Everyone would be down the house or whatever, having something to eat, and they'd be putting the world to rights.
Putting the world to rights, judging everybody in the area.
Yeah.
And she's having, I'm sure she's having a bit, all that, you know. And it was weird, really, because even when I grew up, it was kind of like, I remember there was a girl in the next street married a fella from St. Helens, and he was 6'2", and she met this fella somewhere. But it was a huge thing then that the fella was from St. Helens, you know, like as though he was from like the other side of the universe. And me and my mates was 13 or 14, we went into town, we used to go down a pierhead messing about and all that. We got on a ferry, and my mate said to me, Frankie, what? And there's two big tall fellas on the ferry. He went, Frankie, come and see these St. Helens fellas. He thought everyone in St. Helens was over 6 foot. You know, that's how kind of like...
Fucking, you know, that's how it comes across the news.
We're like hillbillies.
Yeah. But fucking hell, so everyone from St. Helens was over 6 foot.
It's a funny thing.
But it's a funny thing. So from there, you know, career-wise, did you know what you wanted to do, Frankie? As you'd gone
yeah, you know, and I was very lucky in the respect that I found I was quite funny and I was quick when I was a kid. And as you know yourself, Tony, in Liverpool, in Scouts, you get a lot of bullying in schools, and what had happened is someone would come up to you in school and go, so-and-so said he's going to get you.
Or fill you in or whatever.
Go all that in the playground at 4 o'clock, you know what I mean? And a few times you go, well, you know, these days, he's going to fuck you. And you go, going to fuck me, I'll get him and all that. You'd end up fighting and all that. But sometimes, obviously, there were people who were out of your league, you knew that they'd do you in, you know what I mean? So you had to look for a way out. And remember this fella, won't mention his name, and rumour going round, he doesn't like me, and there's going to be a big scrap, and I thought, no.
Can't be arsed with this.
I thought, I knew he'd done a few lads in, I thought, and he says, Frankie and all that, you know, I'm the cock of the school, I'll do him in, and I went, oh no, I knew I couldn't fight him. So, we're walking down this corridor, and on the way down, started telling him this joke. So he goes, he's big fat fella, he goes in bulk, he's laughing at the joke and all that. When we got outside, one of the fellas said, I'll give us your coat, and he went, oh no, I don't want to fight Frankie, you know, he's a good lad. Then he went, Frankie, tell me, what was that other one you were telling me? So I used to get out of trouble.
So it got you out of fucking...
Got me out of trouble, which was great, you know.
Yeah, so fucking, like you say, that's what I think with a lot of Scousers, you know, the funny, the fucking, you know, we've got good humour. I think that's why people, you know, a lot of people, you know, say Scousers, you know, we're cheeky, but we're fucking funny as well, do you know what I mean?
Tony, there's no one like them. They're like a different race of people to the rest of the UK. I done Opportunity Knocks in 1987.
Bob Monkhouse, yeah.
Bob Monkhouse. I was the first comedian to go on. I was picked out of 250,000 comedians. 21st of March 1987. I was only young and all that, but I thought, I'm going to get a big break here. This is fantastic.
On the telly as well.
On the telly. I didn't win. Kerry Wilson won. I came second. She was doing a lot of impressions, this girl. She was very good. And EastEnders was big. She was doing all the EastEnders and Coronation Street characters.
So that's right.
So she won it. Anyway, Tony, you will believe it. So I'm in Studio 8 in the BBC. It's going out live. Shepherd's Bush. 16 million people watched it live. I was the second act on after this band, 4-wheel drive. So it got to about 8:30, it was going out live at 9 o'clock. And I'm talking to one of the runners, you know, the fellas with clipboards and all this. So I said, listen, mate, I said, I'm not being funny, I'm a bit nervous. I've never been on a telly before. He says, yeah. I said, have you got any ale here? He He said, what's it? You know the way he said, well, what do you mean? I said, drink, any drink.
Bit of Dutch courage.
He went, no, he said, the bar's closed. They had a bar in the BBC upstairs on the 11th floor. He said, it's all closed. And this girl came over with all the thingy and all that. And I saw all fucking huge cameras and all that. And all you can hear is Frankie Allen to makeup and all that. It was like Hollywood. I was blown away by it.
How old was you?
Tony, I was only young in my 20s, you know what I mean? Then I thought to myself, if I go on here, and it's weird the way things, you know why I was nervous?
Go ahead.
Because my mum was watching it. I knew she'd be, yeah, isn't it funny? Even then I wasn't really scared of being on stage or whatever, but I knew my mum and my aunties would be watching it, so it made me very nervous. Strange, isn't it, the way your mind works? So anyway, so this girl came over, she said, Frankie, what's wrong? You're a bag of nerves. I said, I can't go on here, I need a drink. So she went, come with me. So by then it was 20 to 9, I'll never forget. There was a pub opposite, there was a fire escape at the studio, there was a door. She said, I'll stand on this door, run down those stairs, run over to that pub, get a drink, be back here in 5 minutes because we're going live at 9 o'clock. So I said, all right then. So I ran down, ran over to the bar and I said to her, give me a double brandy, mate. Double brandy.
Necked it
and felt great. The next thing is, Tony, don't ask me how I knew. There was a fella standing next to me, but I knew he was a Scouser. And he's just standing there. And I looked, and he's like, yeah, funny, and I turned around, wee little fella, and he's looking at me like that, and he's listening to me talking to the barmaid. And he went, all right. I went, all right, mate. So the next thing, this other fella ran over with black hair, I'll never forget, and he went, all right, lad. He said, how many of you is he? I said, what do you mean, I'm on my own? What's up? He went, oh no, lad, we've had murder with these fellas over here. I said, what do you mean? He said, oh, we've been on the ale all day. These fellas are kicking off. I said, oh, fuck it hell. So I said, hang on a minute, listen, lad. I said, I looked and I was 10 to fucking 9.
You go.
I said, I'm going now, mate. And this fella went, you're not fucking off on us, are you? I said, listen, mate, this is my break of a lifetime. I'm a comedian and I'm on the television. In 10 minutes' time, I'm going out live to 16 million people.
You want me to back you up?
This fella went, fuck the telly, lad, there's only 2 of us. That's what he said.
Fucking hell.
I swear to God.
Oh my God.
I was, oh, what's going on here? So I saw these fellas over there in the corner all standing up. So I said, stay there. So I went over to these fellas and they were foreigners, you know, they were like from Europe.
Oh, yeah.
So a fella said, in my country, we don't, I said, look, they're very, very sorry. They're sorry. He went, that's all right, my friend, we forgive them. And it shook his hand and all that. So I said, come over here, and everyone shook hands, it was great. I was 5 to fucking 9. So as I was going out, fella said, thanks for that, all the best with it, sorry. So his mate went like that. What did you say to them? I said, I told him that you're from Eighton, and he didn't want to know. I said, the fucking bottles went, and the fella went, that's right, we're from Eighton. Anyway, I got in, Tony, it's a true story, I swear to God, with seconds to space, and the fella gave me the bike, you don't know, like that.
You've been on to 16 million people?
Scousers, mate, 16 million Scousers. Yeah. Nearly fighting, you can't get away from them.
And you like that, it's your big break, and then the next thing, you feel like a shit house because you know what I mean?
If those fellas are out there, come forward just to verify the story, but I wouldn't lie, they must remember it, yeah.
Oh, it just cracks me up just thinking about it. It's your biggest break, you're trying to get some Dutch courage throwing a brandy down your neck, and these 2 Scousers are saying, yeah, lad, give us some back up here. It's
unbelievable, but they're good people. It's just the way they are. They're very different, you know what I mean? They're very different to people in the rest of the
Who was the comedians that inspired you, that you looked up to?
Yeah, well, funnily enough, I worked with Bob Monkhouse on Opportunity Knocks, but I always looked up to Bob Monkhouse. What people, if you can remember him, I don't know, do you remember Bob Monkhouse? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what it was with him, on the TV, he'd done a lot of TV shows, chat shows and all this business, the Golden Shot and all that. He was multi-million, fantastic on the television, very clean.
His humour was funny.
Yeah, but he was very blue when he done his shows.
Mixed it up, didn't he?
Mixed it up. He was very, very good, very quick, very clever. Chubby Brown, you know, when I was growing up, Chubby Brown was fantastic during the 80s. He was, you know, multi-millionaire. There was no one to touch him. And he's still a fantastic comedian.
Yeah,
Speaks to Roy, and a lovely lad.
Yeah.
Very, very talented. So I always looked up to him. Never kind of modelled myself on him. But I was glad he was there because there was no other really blue comedians. Jim Davidson maybe, but there's no other blue comedian. Even now,
Yeah.
there's no one. You've got all this woke stuff, these alternative comedians, which I can't get my head round it. To me, it's not funny. And there's only me, Chubby Brown, and Jim Davidson. There's no one else really that's doing blue comedy.
Yeah, but that's what people. This is what makes me, you know, makes me think like, what, you know, what you want to say. It says what it says on the tin, the UK's most feared comedian. Yeah. So when people go to your shows and stuff, and they're like, oh fucking hell, you're like, well, hang on, you come to see Frankie fucking Allen.
Well, look, as we can all remember, during the 70s, the 80s, they kind of phased out old style comedy, which I'm not saying I'm old style. I'm a bit different. Barney Manning and all that stuff. It was all phased out. It wasn't fashionable. They brought in this woke comedy, which I fucking hate. I don't think it's funny at all. Started off with Ben Elton, a few of these. And all they are, basically, are university students. They've never been in a club. They've never had a fight in their fucking life. You can put them down with a finger, you know, you go like that. They go, you're assaulting me. Stop it. Phone the police, you're assaulting me. They've never had a scrap in the street. Nothing at all. Never been in trouble with disease and not, you know, they've been straight from university, straight onto television, you know, and the fucking humour, it's just absolute dribble.
What you're saying there is because your acts is from, it's real life.
Street.
It's the street,
real.
In clubs, and it's not made up, it's fucking what's gone on. He's got Manchester, Liverpool, where you've been all over the country. Your act and what you relate to and what you're saying there, because you've seen it fucking go off in the audience, you've seen it
going off, and I've had what happened because I was so blue, effing and blinding all the time and picking on people. Years ago, during the 80s, the 90s, a lot of the agents, they wouldn't give me any work on the normal clubs, conservative clubs it was then, British Legions. They'd only give me the roughest places that came in. You know, I'd do them. But I took to it like a duck. I can work those places, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, yeah.
So in the end, they would only give me like the rubbish work, but it's done me a lot of good. I can work clean if I wanted to, but I'd rather, and where I've been very lucky, really, I found out quite a long time ago that the more I pick on people, the more offensive I am, the more I swear, the more people laugh.
The loud.
You know, and I've said this before on another podcast, but I'll just say in the end, just so people can understand. It's like I always use as an example Jimmy Cricket, the comedian with the wellies, the Irish. Now, I've worked with him and I've seen him on TV, he used to do loads of television and stuff, very famous, very clever. When you look at the gags that he uses, they're like something out of a Christmas cracker. They're not, you know, strong material, but it's his personality.
His persona,
and his charisma that gets the laugh with that material. And what I noticed, you know, I can say something, get a fucking big laugh. And I was speaking to a fella, a mate of mine in Manchester, who's a comic, I won't mention his name. I worked with him, and I come out, you know, we've done this shows with a few strippers a few years ago, and he was coming on. He went on before me, then I come out, and I was saying, oh, look at this fella here, all right, mate. Didn't I see you hanging around the children's playground the other night? You know, and you had a computer with you, and everyone's screaming, laughing. So he said to me, Tony, in the dressing room, he said, Frankie, oh, he says, you know the way you were saying to that girl and all that? He said, fucking hell, love. Good job the Yorkshire Ripper's in jail. Oh, you're that fucking ugly. You know, he put the mask on your fucking head. He said, then you said to that fella, you've been hanging around playgrounds. He said, why are you all laughing? I said, it's just the way you do it. And he went, but it's a terrible thing to say to people. I said, yeah, but it's funny. I said, I don't know why, I just get away with it.
Yeah, why?
People laugh. He went, well, do you mind if I do it? I said, you're welcome. I said, I'll write a thing out for you if you want.
Script for you.
He said, well, I want to start off. He said, I'm doing a job in Liverpool, he said. The Highfield Tenants Club, it was called.
By the Swan and
that, yeah, the Swan. So all the lads from the Swan there. And And everyone was sitting there like that, you know. Anyway, so he said, hang on, Frankie, write this down for me. So I said, all right. So I said, walk out and just say, all right, mate, haven't I seen you hanging around children's playground? And he says, I said, everyone will go and bulk. He went, well, they laugh, Frankie. The way they laugh at you, you sure? I said, if you do it, just do it the way I do it. Anyway, one of the strippers I was working with a couple of weeks later, she said, Frankie, do you hear about Arnie? Arnie, his name was. I said, what happened? We were working with him in Liverpool. I said, the Highfield Centre. That's right. He said, he came out and he says to this fella, and I know the fella, it's a fucking nutter.
Fucking at the ball.
And he went on a big scaffolder and all.
Oh.
And he went, hey. And somebody gave him his name. He said, Teddy, I believe you've been hanging out. And he said, before he could finish, the fella got up and went bang like that.
Sparkled him.
So I said, I don't know what to, when I saw him eventually, I said, I don't know what to say to you. I said, it just works for me. You know, weird, isn't it?
It's mad, isn't it? Because like you say, you know, people will ask, why'd you not get fucking filled in? Or, but like you say, Frank, you've got that, people know. Like you say, if they're not known, these comics, do you reckon it'll work? Because it works for you. And you've got this way of doing it in a way that you'll probably eye the room up and whatever, out what you're doing, you'll think, I've got me some fucking... But do you know what's on the tin, though?
Even me, going back a few years ago, I wouldn't have a go, not really have a go at women, you know, even I had like a boundary, you know.
Yeah.
I was only savaging all the fellas. But then I thought, I was having a go at this bird one night. She was shouting out at me, you know. And I said, fuck off, fucking ugly cunt, look at you. When you're a fucking kid, even the incubator had tinted windows. So she shouted to me, you fuck off, Baldy. I said, what about fucking you? You cunt, when you were a kid, you were that ugly, your mum had to feed you with a catapult. You had to tie a pork chop around your neck so a dog would play with you. You went to Blackpool, got your money back on a ghost train. And she was still having a go. I said, fuck off, love. Even the tide wouldn't take you out. Anyway, so everyone's in bulk. And when I went home that night, I thought, I can do it with the birds as well. It just works for me.
But you know what?
It's funny, you know?
I've had a few times you've done shows for us. I reckon about over half a dozen times. And the women, and everyone would be like dying for the piss to go to the toilet. And I remember you'd done a show for us, right? And I'll never forget it. And someone was dying to go to the toilet. It was an Everton night, if I remember. Yeah. And the lad was like that, and he must have been doing someone fucking giving him, and he's gone and he's fucking, and he's not looked, and he's gone in the birds' toilets in the Legion it was, and for ages the fucking room was quiet. We just waited. As soon as he come out the birds' toilet, you fucking ripped them apart. And I'm sure it was Andy Dwyer, my mate's brother. But
Tony, funny enough, the bigger the fellas are.
Yeah.
We done Hilton about 4 years ago. We were doing Hilton for a while and had a great night then. As soon as it came out, this bird walked past. She was in her 50s or whatever, you know, blonde hair and all. But she walked out just before it even said anything. So I knew I had to say something straight away. So I said, fucking hell, look at this one. Bit of an owl goose. Bit of an owl goose some years ago. And everyone went to bulk. And she said, what about it? I said, fuck off. Anyway, later on, I'm in the toilet. This fellow coming out like a fucking giant. And he went, hey, Frankie, that was my bird, you know, you calling her owl goose. And I said, sorry. He said, oh no, he said, it was hilarious. Yeah.
Do you think you were still coming over on the bounce?
Thank God.
Yeah.
I've just got something where people recognise straight away, even though it's a terrible thing that I'm saying, they know it's funny. They know I'm trying to be funny. You know?
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
It's not it's a
not
comedy.
Personal.
Do you know what I mean? Like I say, you know, everyone knows what you're about, and you come and you go, well, fucking hell. And if you do pick on them, it's fucking a laugh. You know what I mean? It's not personal. You know what I mean? It's not
human beings. You know, it's just weird how people are very, very different. You know, people are so. I remember a fella years ago in a pub. Was in this pub in Old Swan, the railway, and this fella come in, and he picked me pints up and started drinking it. You know, I was only young. So you think you're a bit of a hard case yourself, don't you? So I said, hey mate, what's going on there? Like, you made me fucking pints, drinking me pints and all. And he went, I'm awful sorry mate, I thought it was mine. He was dead nice, you know, dead gentle. So then the next thing is, he went to bar, bought me a pint. I'm sorry about that. And I said, all right. So anyway, he left and all that. So my mate came up to me. I said, see that fella? I said, yeah. He just bought you a pint and all that. I said, yeah. He said, he's just done 15 years for murder. He's fucking mental. Oh, but he was a lovely fella. You know what I mean? When I met him, a lovely fella. He chopped this fella up and all. I went, oh, no. So the next time I seen him, I went, thanks for that pint,
It's
mate.
a fucking pint.
Oh, that's lovely. Thanks for getting me that pint. And he said, oh, it's all right. I couldn't get my head around it. Like an alter ego, he was dead nice. Weird,
Just like one of them, no.
So it's like me. I'm not a kind of like, or I wouldn't like to think. My stage persona has kind of taken me over in some situations over the years. But like I'm like a Jekyll and Hyde. I'm not who I am on the stage, you know.
Yeah, I know you're off stage, you know, and out of character, so to speak. And you're still funny, you know, when you have a conversation and stuff like that. You speak to you, you know, spoke to you on the phone and that, and you're fucking cracking jokes. But that's just you. But I think people do get that persona of the way you are on the stage, and you're ripping people and stuff. But off stage, you're just a normal person.
Only I've had fellas ringing me, this is who this. Especially up in Manchester, lads. Frankie, you're all right, mate. Frankie, I've got a bit of a problem with this lad. He's been bullying me son, you know. I said, oh, yeah. Right, you know, do you want to meet up with me, Frankie? I want him done in. I said, why are you telling me, mate? Well, he get the wires crossed.
You fucking think...
You know, on the stage, I said, that's just an act. You know what I mean?
People want you to go and film people.
No, like fucking do people bump them off, you know. I'm a fucking serial killer, mate. I'm a fucking artist. I'm an act.
I'm a comedian, fucking hell. But when did it really take off for you, Frank? Was it that clip? Was it or?
Well, what happened was
it with Derry Matthews, the Father's
Derry
Day?
Matthews. I was doing Father's Day. It was 2018. Would you believe? It was a long time ago, and I'm in Barry's Bar in West Derby in Liverpool, and I walked in. And Derry Matthews was there, the boxer. Good lad, Derry, yeah.
So, good lad,
and he's with his mate. Anyway, his mate, Chris, I think his name's Chris, he's sitting there, and he had a fucking big phone as big as that book, you know. And I said, don't film me. Don't film me.
Because you don't have no filming or not, because you're acting
well,
all
Tony, me act, some of the things I say, even sometimes I can't remember what I've said, and have I said anything sexist or you know, and the way it is nowadays.
You're acting all, yeah, exactly, I get that.
So anyway, I went, fuck it. Anyway, he said no, and I saw him, he had his phone against a pint glass. Anyway, I went over to him and said, I'm going on now, put that phone off. And he said, Frankie, put it away, don't worry. But he'd filmed me, I didn't know. And during, some fella was heckling me.
Coming back from the toilet, do you remember
that? Coming back from the toilet and all, and I was having a Scottish fella was shouting out.
Didn't he go to what's name? You went, fuck off, you dickhead.
Yeah, I pushed him away. Yeah. I thought he was going to try and throw a belt at me.
Yeah.
So I pushed him away, and then his father-in-law, the Scottish fella, was going, here, I'll fucking fill you in, and I said something to him. And I said, you're in court next week for shagging a cat. But the judge won't believe any Scotsman to put anything in the kitty. Fucking big laugh. Great day, Father's Day, forgot about it. There was no trouble. Anyway, the next thing is, must have been a year later, the guy had kept it in his phone, but released it or posted
shared it on fucking social media.
12 months later, exactly on Father's Day,
the next
in 2019. I went, look at hell, who was it that phoned me up?
Was it Will?
No, somebody phoned me up at first and said, Frankie, there's a video flying round. My bottle goes, Tony, in case you said anything. Because you can get locked up now, you know.
You get locked up.
I went, oh no, where is it? He said, I don't know. I'll try and find out. Then this other fella phoned me. And he said, Frankie, I think it was like a Father's Day thing. I said, that was last year in Barry's Bar. He said, flying round, everyone's watching and all the lads have got it and all that. So I said, did I say anything on it? And this fella said, yeah. I went, oh my God. So I did it heavy duty, you know.
You're acting it, you know
it's
what
just
I mean?
an actor. He said, you're picking on this fella and you savaged him. And I said, oh, I don't really want that kind of stuff to get out. And you said just to the Scottish fella, you're in court for shagging a cat. The judge won't believe it. So I'm thinking, oh, the Scottish people will be after me and all this. And fucking go paranoid and all that. So I phoned me lad up, Will. And I said, Will. And he said, let me have a look at it, Dad. So he said, I'll get him to take it down. You know, if you're not happy with what's being said. I said, yeah, get him to take it down. Get in touch. So he rang me a couple of hours later. He said, "Do you want the good news or the bad news?" I said, "What's the bad news?" He said, "I can't take it down." I said, "Fuck it, Ellie." I said, "What's the good news?" He said, "It's been out for a week." He said, "It's had 7 million views."
Within a week.
Within a week. I said, "You're fucking joking." He said, "No, it's just catching fire, you know." I said, "Oh my God."
It's going
Then
big.
it went 7 million, 15 million, and then it got to about 13 million. Then I'd done another one off the back of it. Kind of like, wasn't a setup, but we just got it filmed by someone, and that on the back of the... Anyway, the two videos altogether, there's 21 million views. It was flying around 21 million views. And my phone, Tony, literally exploded, you know what I mean? There was 21 million for the original one. The other one was
TikTok
getting,
and all that.
Yeah, 21 million views for the first. Then we done a second one, it was 7 million, and the second one wasn't as good as the first one. It wasn't, you know, but it went to 13 million. So my phone was literally exploding, and I didn't know what to do. Now, my son Will, as you know him very well, a good lad and all that, he was working in Lippe, and he was working, funny enough, in Prenton Park, bringing over bands from the States and all that business, you know. He was like a promoter and whatever.
Yeah.
So he said, "Dad, I'll take it over now," because my phone was literally...
And you need that, Frank, you know what I mean?
I couldn't do it, because people were phoning me up, and he went, you know, and I'm still saying, "Yeah, I'll do that for..." He said, £200 fucking pounds. He said, "You're the talk of the fucking country." He said, "Give us the fucking
You know
phone."
your worth, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so Will's, well, like that, and he's chilled, you know. No, he said, "We want, at the moment..."
X amount and whatever, yeah.
And it just went from there, you know.
But you know what, though, I remember the days, like, obviously, you know, the hard work where your phone wouldn't ring. And then when it's just that little opportunity, because I remember when you've done shows for me, and I'm out tonight, doing something on Sunday, not doing nothing tomorrow, doing something Sunday, and then, like you say, your phone just goes like the fucking bat phone.
It was unbelievable, yeah. But I mean, I've worked all my life and never got anywhere at all, really. And somebody it's crazy, somebody, like, even when I did Opportunity Knocks, I never won, and I never got anywhere. And then somebody kind of like filming with a little phone, and the next thing is...
It's gone. But this is it now, with technology today. It just goes bang, and it's gone, what's the name? But you've worked with some unbelievable people. You know, I've got to mention this gentleman, Howard Kendall. Obviously, being an Evertonian, we've had some funny nights with Howard Kendall over the years.
Tony, we've had some fantastic nights with Howard Kendall. Lovely man. Very generous man he was, and a lovely person. I was very close to Howard, as you were yourself. And a great man. He'd be long remembered. Not only would people will forget, he was a fantastic footballer.
Yeah.
And a fantastic manager. He was Everton's manager of all time, really. Most successful manager. But a lovely man.
He was brilliant.
You know, and he was so funny, Howard, as well, you know.
I remember I phoned you. I got your number. Because I'd seen you a few times, and I thought, I'm going to start to do shows myself. I thought, I need to fucking get Frankie Allen on. And I rang him and went, "Frankie, any chance I can get you and Howard Kendall on together?" And we sorted it. And I'll never forget this night. You went, "Tony, this and that. This is how it goes." And I remember 200 people come to my first ever show.
Go away. Where was it, Tony?
It was in the old town. It was in the... It's now called the Alchemy. But it was in there. We had 200, and it was fucking brilliant. It was about 200 people in there. Night was brilliant, and I'll never forget it. The raffle. Someone was called Kevin Keegan. There's a lad.
Oh yeah.
He was, and there's a lad. The lads who used to be from now. The one was called Kevin Keegan. You wouldn't believe he's a fucking big Evertonian. And Steve Gerrard, and he's an Evertonian as well. And he got up and he went, "Is this a fucking piss take?" And it fucking wasn't. But the thing I'll always remember, and I'm going to mention this, I always speak about it to the lads. I remember the nights had gone and it was fucking brilliant, and you and Howard were getting off. And I'll never forget it. And I was owed 500 quid. You were just about to pull off. I jumped in the back of the car.
You jumped in the back of the car.
And I went, right, where's the fucking money? He was like, Howard Kendall's like...
Who had the money, Tony, that night? Who was it?
The compere.
Go away.
The compere had it.
Did he snap on it? Did he get it off him?
He got it. I fucking got it on the Monday, like, so. And I got in the car and Howard Kendall's like, "What the fuck's going on here?" I'm like, "You aren't going anywhere. I want me 500 quid. I want me fucking 500 quid.
I remember that. It was yesterday.
Yeah.
That's got to be a long time ago.
That was about, I think, about 13, 14 years
Howard was so funny, you know, some of the things he used to come out with. A great speaker.
Oh,
you know, the stories that he could tell and all that, you know.
And he was brilliant. He was so good with everybody, do you know what I mean? He was a lovely fella. I had him on a few times, and, you know, I've had funny nights where we've had a good drink and stuff, and just got reminiscing about everything. You know, he was a lot older than myself, but you know, when you look back and you see...
I first met Howard. I was doing a show at Everton for a fella called John Rotherham, who was at Everton years ago, and he was managing Bilbao at the time.
Oh, Athletic Bilbao, yeah.
Yeah, and Howard came along to speak, and I'd never met him before. And I got a shock, really. I was so surprised. I wasn't famous then. I wasn't well known even. And I got talking to Howard, and I thought, what a lovely man. And he
just
was
his presence and that. And
yeah, a living legend, but he wasn't like
up his own arse
condescending, looking down on you. He was just
yeah.
one of the lads, you know. And then he said, give us your number. He said, I might have a job. I need a comic for this job. And then the phone went and I paid. All right, lad. And I said, all right, who is it? It's Howard. Howard fucking hell, Howard Kendall, you know. You can't believe how down to earth he was.
Yeah.
Lovely man.
He was funny. You know, when you used to do shows and that together, what was the movie game on the way home that you used to play?
Tony, we've had some fantastic, after thousands of shows with Howard. He was so funny. What we used to do, wherever we went, if we were up in Newcastle, Birmingham, Wales, now, he used to do this thing called Film Stars. Now, normally, it'd be me, Ernie King. Ernie sadly passed away as well. He'd be in the back of the car. We got him emceeing. Ernie used to MC all the shows that we did. And I got a lot of work because in the end, people said, do you want Howard Kendall? Frankie Allen will get him.
But you all go together.
Yeah, you all go together. It was a great night, which you booked many times yourself. So this particular night, so funny. I'm in the middle of Wales with Howard Kendall. And you know, I'm driving and all that, and the Film Stars thing, he'd go, right lad, EP. You know, I go,
the initials, yeah.
Okay. Elvis Presley, and he'd go, right lad, you're right, 1-0 to you. And I'd go, okay. Then I'd say, right, CR, Howard, and he'd go, fucking hell, lad, CR. See, what the fucking hell is CR? Cliff Richard, lad. Cliff Richard, 1-1. So we're doing it one night. Howard goes, right, lad, MF, film star. So I was, MF, film star. Oh. I was about 8. It was the first to get to 10, you know. Oh, come on, lad, I've got to hurry you up. Do you know it or don't you know it? I was, MF. I said, I don't know. And he went, Mickey Finn. I went,
Mickey Finn?
Mickey Finn's a comedian.
From Liverpool.
He's not a film star. He went, fucking famous enough, lad. Mickey Finn. I said, I would fuck off. You can't get away with Mickey Finn. It was so funny, you know.
Yeah.
He was a great lad. And we've had some fantastic nights together working with Howard. Up at the Lake District, in Newcastle, Birmingham, London, everywhere, anywhere that you can think of. He was loved
everywhere he went, wasn't he?
He was idolised.
Yeah.
He was like a god to some people, you know. I loved Howard. I remember one night, where were we?
It was the Lion Keys Hotel, was it?
Lion Keys Hotel. That was a good story. the Lion Keys, got a couple of good stories about Howard. Fella phoned me up, he said, Frankie, a lot of people couldn't believe it, you know, he was on the circuit because he was so famous, Howard. Yeah. Fella phoned me up, he said, hey Frankie, you've got this show coming up at the Lion Keys Hotel in Oswald Street. Fucking big place, you know. Oh yeah, I said, and I mentioned Howard, can you get hold of Howard Kendall, Frankie? I said, yeah. I said, he's a friend of mine. Fucking hell, he said. A lot of Everton support down in Wales and Shropshire, as you know, down there, you know. Yeah. So the next thing is, Frankie, this was a charity event. I said, okay. What do you want? I said, look, and Ernie, I'll get Ernie on, Ernie King as the MC. So I said, I'll tell you what, we'll do you the favour. I'll get Howard to do it for 400 quid. It's about 15 years ago, you know. I said, give me 250. I said, and give Ernie a 1 or 2 MC. That's a great price. So we're driving down there. Howard's in the passenger seat, Ernie's in the back. So we get to the place, and it's a fucking big, the Lion Keys Hotel. You've seen nothing like it, and you're like, fantastic. Howard goes, fucking hell, lad. This is a big place. How much are we on here? He never used to ask, you know. I said, oh, it's like a charity thing, you know. I got you 350, you know, I think it's 400. Fucking hell, Frankie. I went, oh, never mind. So we're coming in. So there's all the local press, you know. And like a fella there with a fucking camera. So I said to the lad who's running it, Paul, I said, Paul, who's he? He said, it's HTV, the television, Harlock Television, you know. fucking TV. It's on the borderline with Wales. Yeah. I fucking hell, you know. So we got in there, fucking heaving. About 500 people there, all in black tie, tuxedo and everything. I said, fucking hell, we've been fucking conned here. Looked at one of the tickets, £75 a ticket. I went, oh my God. Oh, we've been raped here. This is terrible, you know, and all that.
400 people in there or something.
Anyway, so me and Howard are on the top table. Howard said, fucking hell, lad, look at this. He said, these have made a few quid tonight. So he said, who was on last year? So I said, I don't know. I thought it just opened. Oh no, this hasn't opened. Look at it, fucking hell. They've had shows here before. So this fella comes up to us and I'm talking to him. And I said, Howard's sitting there. He said, I said, who was here last year, mate? He said, Jimmy Tarbuck and Billy Connolly. I said, what? He said, Billy Connolly and Jimmy Tarbuck. I said, you're fucking kidding, mate. And I know they get like about 20 grand each, you know what I mean? Yeah. I said, fuck off. So Howard goes, fucking hell, lad. He goes, you get me £300 he said. £20,000 you could have got, Frankie. I said, Howard, I didn't know. Oh, fucking hell, the fella's conned me. So anyway, I was banging on the table. Oh, fucking hell. And he's going, I was a bit younger, I'd fucking chin him, Frankie, that's all. So anyway, we come off at the end of the night and we're walking out. A fella comes up to us and he goes, that was fantastic. Howard goes, listen, lad, walk away from me. Now, just go away, walk away from me. So he's looking at me, Frankie, what's wrong? I said, Paul, don't take the piss out of me, mate. Don't take the piss out of me. So then Ernie likes to drink, and he goes, listen, lad, we go everywhere. He said, all over, we've never had disrespect like this, ripping us. He said, I tell you what, he said, oh, take what you've made tonight, the 100 grand or whatever you've fucking made, and stick it up your ass. And the fella's white as a ghost when we walked out. We get in the car. So some of the lads are coming out and this fella comes out and said, that was fantastic, that. So Howard went, yeah, pity we weren't here last year. What do you mean? He said, pity we weren't here with Billy Connolly and Jimmy Tarbuck. Could have ended up with 20 grand between us. Fella said, Howard, come here a minute. And it went round the corner. There was a cement mixer and all these bricks. He said, it's only just been built. The place only just been built. He said, what do you mean, lad? He said, this is the opening night. He said, they never had any entertainment. He said, didn't you notice there's no curtains on the window? He said, this is the opening night. He said, here's the ticket. He said, all the money.
It's paid for all of
No, it's going to Zoe's place at Children's Hospice.
Fuck.
I went, he said, the fella from Zoe's place was on the top table, Frankie, you were talking to him. I was, oh my God. So anyway, we got in the car and it was too late to go back and apologise, you know. And so I was going, fucking hell, Frankie. So you're going to get me in the news in the world for ripping off a children's hospice. I wouldn't have charged them a penny. Fucking hell, go back, give them the money. I said, Howard, I didn't know. I said, so that fella that come to the table, he said he had Jimmy Tarbuck on. Anyway.
He blagged his big time.
Blagged us, just a wind up. Phoned the fella the next day. He said, Frankie, you know, I said, no, I'm awful sorry. You know, I said, he said, no, Frankie, I can give you the invoice. All the money has gone to Zoe's place at Children's Hospice, you know. Yeah. And then Howard rang him and he said, Howard, no need to apologise. He said, I'm looking for that fella now. He said, I'm going to fucking kill him. He said,
I'm going to do him in, like.
He said, why did he say? He said, we've not. He said, the club has been open. He said, it was an opening night. Yeah, funny, yeah. But Howard, I mean, we've had some fantastic nights with Howard. He's so funny. And Tony, not just Merseyside.
All over the country.
We went up to the Lake District. We were doing a club called Ulverston Sports and Social Club. And Howard said, let's go and get something to eat. We went to this pub and they're doing meals and all that. And I forgot Howard used to manage Sheffield United, didn't he?
Yeah, he had
and he took them to a final, didn't he, or something like that. So the fella come from behind a bar and he went, Howard Kendall. And I said, yeah, can I shake your hand, that picture and all that? So the next thing, he went in the back, he must have got on the phone. The next thing is
filled
up, everybody.
Fucking hell.
Pictures with Howard and all that, fantastic.
So have something to eat in there.
Yeah, what a lovely man as well, you know.
Yeah. What was the story with Balotelli? The Balotelli story.
Well, the Balotelli, I'll tell you this one first before I tell Balotelli, because I will forget about this one, because I've never told it on a podcast before, and I've done a few. And this is I swear on my son's life, this is a true story. So this fella, now you might know this guy because he's a Runcorn fella, or he lives in Frodsham. Tony, the fat guy, he used to put dinners on.
It's fucking not me, is it?
No, what's the name? Tony, I can't think of his second name. He lives in Frodsham.
I think I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, he used to put sports, he had something to do with Runcorn Town Football Club at one stage, putting sportsman's evenings on, going back about 20 years, Tony.
Yeah.
So you're probably like fucking young there. So anyway, Howard phones me up and he went, Frank, a fella's just rang me. You know the way for Howard. Fucking Tony. I said, Howard, I'll give him your number. No, lad, you sort it out. You sort it out. As long as you pick me up in the Red Squirrel. Used to pick him up in the Red Squirrel all the time. Yeah. We'd have something to eat there.
Formby, isn't it?
Formby. And we'd be out all afternoon and then we'd go to the show in the night. So then this Tony phones me and I said, look, I tell you what. Yeah. So-and-so, we'll do this dinner with you. So we done a dinner, so Howard got friendly with us on all the business. So the next thing is, Howard rang me up, and he went, Frankie, do you want to come to the game with me on Saturday? Go on the Everton match with Howard Kendall. He said, I've got 3 tickets here. He said, I've been given 3 tickets. He said, I don't need one, I've got 3 tickets. He said, what about Tony? Now, Tony was in Runcorn, was a big Everton fan. So I phoned him up and said, Howard took a bit of a shine to him. He said, I'm going to a match with Howard, you know. And playing Reading, it was years ago. Yeah. So Tony said, you kidding? So I said, no. So I said, I've just been speaking to Howard. I said, he wants you to come along. Oh, Frankie, this is fantastic. I can't believe it. I'm going to a match with Howard Kendall. So I said, yeah. So then Howard rang me. He said, listen, lad, we'll go into the captain's table. Yeah, all that. So we'll have a drink and all that. He said, but I'll have to shoot off for a little bit. He said, because I've got to see someone. I've got to see Bill Kenwright. And he said, I've got to see that, because Howard wasn't impressed by anyone, you know. He said, I've got to see that actor. What's his name? Sylvester Stallone. Came to Everton.
Yeah, he was on the pitch, I think it was there. It's on Sky in that game.
Sky, yeah. I said, Howard, are you kidding me? Sylvester Stallone. He said, yeah, he's coming, and Bill Kenwright wants me to meet him. I went, fucking hell. So I phoned up Tony. Little did I know he's a huge Sylvester Stallone fan. I went, fucking hell, said Tony. Sylvester Stallone's gone, and he couldn't speak. Fuck off, Frankie. No, it's Sylvester Stallone's going to be there. So anyway, Tony came down to my house. I was living in Walton then, and we picked Howard up, and the 3 of us going to Goodison. So the next thing is, we're standing at the bar and the captain's table, and people are coming up to Howard for autographs. Everyone's all over him and all that. Nobody knew me then, really, you know. It was great. Tony's there and everything. Howard said, I've got to go in a minute, lads. Got to go and I've got to go meet that fella with Bill Kenwright, Sylvester Stallone and all that, you know. So Tony said, Howard, can I come and meet him? Yeah. I wouldn't even dare ask, you know. That. And he went, no, lad, no, he just wants to meet me, if you don't mind, you know. It's with the chairman and all that, you know, you can't come and all that.
You wouldn't ask Frankie, fucking
So he said, I know you wouldn't ask, would you?
No, what the fuck?
All right, fucking hell, he went, like a real old scout, you know, all right, lad, you know, Tony Bird, you know. Tony Bird, I'll be with Sylvester Stallone. I said, yeah, Tony Bird. I said, say to your Bird, me and Howard Kendall and Frankie Allen are with Sylvester Stallone now. So anyway, So what's her name? His bird was called Jackie, funny enough, you know. So he phones her, and I went, oh, hello, Jackie. Jackie. She went, hello? Hello? She went, is it Jackie? She went, is that you, Mr. Stallone? I went, yeah. I'm with Howard, and with Frankie, and with Tony. And she went, she went, my God. Couldn't speak, gone. She's a big fan, totally gone. Fucking Howard's pissed himself. Tony's just like white, he's gone. Like, you know what I went? We're in Goodison now. Can we drop by later? Drop by at your home. So she went, you coming here? You coming here? Tony's invited us to your home. We're going to come after the game. Tony, I said, God. So she goes, I said, I was like that on the couch, like that. So I said, do you have a driveway for the car? So she went, oh yeah, we've got to drive. Tony, honest to God, I went, is it Rocky? She went, no, we've had it block paved. So I went, I said, Tony, it's gone too far now. Tony come on the phone. And he went, hello, it's me. He went, that was Frankie Allen fucking about. I could hear her go, put him on. So I went like that, cut the phone, she went, fucking dickhead. I said, oh, fuck off. Yeah. True story, very true, yeah.
So what was the score with the Balotelli one?
Oh, Balotelli. Will tell you this, my son, you know, fucking hell, it's a true story, this. We're in, when I used to go and see him and have a drink with him and all that business a few years ago in Woodward's bar up at Formby. Howard, I used to pick him up, we'd go there, have something to eat and all that, you know. We'd have the drink. So Howard was holding court there, you know, of course who he was. People would be coming in asking for pictures and everything, and Howard having a laugh with the barmaids, and he just used to sit on a stool. And he'd go, right lad, champers time. 2 big bottles of champagne. I used to end up getting a cab home, you know, to have a drink with Howard, and Will was with me, my son and all that, you know. So Balotelli had just signed for Liverpool then, and he wasn't making much of an impression. He wasn't much good, you know. So we're all talking at the bar. So a few lads coming in, he was just standing, he was just in awe of Howard, and this fella said, Howard, what do you think of Balotelli? What do you mean? So what would you do? Because he's a bit temperamental and he's not
a bit wayward and all that, yeah.
At the training and things. And what would you do, Howard? Right, lads. I'll tell you now what I do with Balotelli. So we're all, even me, we're all like that. You know,
all like you just like fucking.
What I do, I turn up for training. Everyone would be there, all the players and everything. And I'd wait until he was about 10 yards away. Then I'd go, you, Balotelli, here. And I'd wait till he walked over in front of everybody, lad. Yeah, and what would you say, Howard? He said, I'd just lean into him and I'd say, hey, fuck off. And he said, and I'd just leave it at that. Fucking hell. So, but, I mean, what a lovely man, but he was very funny without realising how funny he was.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, it's sad because a lot of these lads who play professional football and they become speakers and whatever, when they pass on and they pass away, all the material, Howard's had some great material, you know, that obviously you've seen.
Yeah.
You had him on many times.
I had him a few times, yeah.
He's fantastic,
He's fucking brilliant. He was fantastic. But
and a lovely man, you know.
do you know what? I can still go on my phone now, and I've still got Howard Kendall's number in my phone.
Yeah.
And fucking landline number as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've still got it in my phone. No, that's no bullshit. You know what I
Tony,
mean?
you put your... See if you remember this stuff. Just come to me now. This is another hilarious story that happened. So, I'm working for you on Halton British Legion with Howard Kendall. There's a few other Everton players on this night. And Roger was there. You remember Roger from Chester with the grey hair?
Roger Devonside.
Roger Devonside. So he was there. I think he was MCing or he was doing an auction or some fucking thing.
Yeah.
So the next thing is, I'm meeting Howard in the Red Squirrel.
Yeah.
Up by Ainsdale, Formby, whatever it is. So I drove up there. So I'm in the Red Squirrel, me and Howard. And that's it. Came out to the car. I was like a relatively new car, a BMW. Started the car, wouldn't start. Howard went, "Fucking hell, lad. What do we do here?" And he went, "Phone Tony. Get him to send someone down." You? Yeah. I said, "Oh." Anyway, this fellow come out the pub. Big crazy Everton fan. I knew this fellow from somewhere. I think it was from the Derry Club down in Everton. We used to do shows there. He was one of the lads, a good lad. And he went, "Frankie, what's up?" I said, "My car won't go." I said, we're doing a show in Runcorn for Tony Murrell." He went, "I'll take you." So he took us up there. Fucking funny. So we get up there and Roger Devonside turned up and Roger was on the show. He drove from Chester. But Roger had a van. He had an old van.
It's like a sooty van, if you remember.
And in the back, just like a mattress and things, you know. So there was me and Howard on the way home with a fantastic night and all that. So Roger's driving and we're coming down the M57. Me, Howard, Roger, and I can't remember if somebody else was with us as well in the back of the fucking car. Was it Mark Langley?
Langley might
Might
have been the
Mark the
impressionist.
Oh, fucking rotten drunk, all singing. And Howard kept like trying to stand up, then falling back on this mattress, and he was going, "Oh, fucking hell, lad." We had a few bottles with us and all that, you know.
A couple of bottles of wine went with these.
Dropped Howard off. Anyway, I was fucking rotten myself. I was drinking then. I got home and all that. So the next day, I woke up and what the fuck was that? Where's my car? You know.
How did I get home?
Couldn't see the car outside. I'm like, fucking hell. The next thing the phone went, "Aye, lad, it was Howard, you know." He went, "Did you have a good night last night?" I said, "Yeah." "Where were you?" I said, "Howard was with you all night, working for Tony Murrell in Runcorn. So we came home with Roger Devonside's van." "Fuck off." I said, "Yeah, we did." "You're fucking joking, lad." I said, "No." And he went, hang on a minute. "I'll phone you back in. Give me 5 minutes."
Get his bearings and
Got a bit. Come back here. "Oh, Frankie, yeah, of course. Yeah, I remember now and all that, you know." But we had some fantastic
do you know what,
nights
them
with
nights,
him.
Frankie, I always say this to people, when the likes of Howard Kendall, an icon and a legend to a lot of people, when people ring me the next day and they go, "Tony, I can't believe we had Howard Kendall in this fucking, in the Legion, or, you know, it was in another boozer or whatever," and it's just, that satisfaction, that little bit of what's in your belly, and you think, you've met a legend, you know.
A living legend, and God rest his soul, a lovely man as well. He was fantastic, and he wasn't big-headed. He wasn't kind of like trying to be condescending to people. He was lovely with everyone he met.
Yeah, and
you know.
he treated everyone the same, didn't he? Do you know what I mean?
It's a crying shame, really, that he passed away, you know.
Yeah. How does the title, the UK's most feared comedian, feel to have, Frankie?
It was Will. It was my son, really, that came up with that title, the UK's most feared comedian. We were thinking of what he calls a hook. You know, you need something. People, there's need that, the UK's most feared comedian.
It stands out, doesn't it?
But what it is, Will said to me, "Look, Dad, you know, when the original video went viral, I'm known for being, you know, telling gags and things, but I'm more known for slaughtering people. A lot of shows that we go to, even now, even the theatres, we've had to get people to say, look, you know, the front 2 rows are empty. People are scared, you know, a bit, they want to get at the back. So we've got to try and encourage people to come forward. And what we've had to do, or what Will does very cleverly, which is a great move, what he does, we go into a lot of places now, when we do the beer cellar, and the seats at the back, I mean, it's always sold out, but what he does at first, with the seats right on the back, he puts reserved on all the tables, so people have to sit at the front, so there's no escape.
That's it.
That's great. So then, as it fills up, then he just goes and takes the things off. People can sit at the back. But what if he didn't do that? What would happen is people would be sitting at the back, and it'd be a big gap.
It's not so good for you, that is it?
It's not intimate enough, you know.
Yeah, no, that's it. And it's good though the way it's just progressed, and you know all the hard work.
Tony is fantastic, you know what I mean, in a good wage. Will earns a good living out of it. He's brilliant at what he does.
You work hard though, Frank. Let's be honest.
I work hard.
You fucking travel the bottom and up and down the country.
Tony, I've always had that work ethic. I mean, I don't want to mention the guy's name. He's a comedian, and he came up to me and he went, Frankie, he said, I'm doing this thing in Sheffield. I said, oh yeah. He said, I'm doing it over Christmas. I've got 6 nights there in, I think it was Sheffield Hillsborough Football Club or something. I said, oh great, in their function room. So I said, yeah. He said, great. He said, you're in and out. I've only got to do 20 minutes a night. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you'll get away with 20 minutes. I said, it's not worth you going. Why are you going down there with the attitude that you're going in to do as little as possible? Do the officer. You're never going to build a name up for yourself like that. You're never going to get known. If you're just treating it, doing the very least time possible, not putting any effort into it. And that's the difference between me, Tony, and a lot of comics even now. You know, when I go on stage, I put everything into it.
And your set's like what? And now, I mean...
Two sessions sometimes.
245 minutes, isn't it?
245 minutes. And I can do it because when I was brought up on the old social clubs, used to go to places and they'd say, Frankie, you're on for 45 minutes, then I'd put you on at the end for another half an hour or another 40 minutes. Some places wanted 3 spots. So I had to develop that material. So all this, like a lot of these comics in these comedy clubs, they're just going on and doing 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you know. I don't agree with it. You know, it takes you 15 minutes sometimes if they're
to warm it up,
warm them up with a bad crowd to get through to them. So, no, I've got a lot of material, Tony. I've got a lifetime of material. And I've always had a very good ear for what's funny. If somebody tells me something, I'll know it's funny, you know.
Yeah. Your comedy's a lot different, I think, to the stuff, because obviously I have like a little comedy club where they come and go, and sometimes you think, you know, and I love comedy. You know, it makes, you know, obviously it makes me laugh. It fucking makes a lot of people laugh. But, and you do have some comedians who come and they do 15, 20 minutes. And I might have found one joke funny or whatever, or and someone might go to me, he was crapping, or she was crapping, or she was crapping, and I'll go, I had the biggest laugh all night. Everyone's humour is different, Frankie, do you know what I mean?
It's amazing where your gags come from. I mean, a lot of my material, I've always had a great ear for it. If I hear a gag, I'll go, fucking hell, that's great. Or if I hear a gag, I'll go, no, that won't work. You know, I'll just know straight away.
Yeah.
I went to a wedding a few years ago, a mate of mine, Yozza, he runs the Old Roan Club up in the Oldie, it's called now. The Oldie.
It's still open, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. He does well there, does a lot of shows and things. And Stevie Hughes, Yozza, a lovely lad. And been a mate of mine for years. And when he got married, I went along to his wedding. And there's a little lad sitting there who's, he said, Frankie, here's a joke. What is it? And he told me this fucking joke. I may as well tell you the joke. I use it all the time, but it's great. And he said, I got a birthday card the other day. I opened the envelope and a load of rice fell out of it. And I thought, fucking hell, Uncle Ben. See? Tony, I went, oh my God. I think it was a Jason Bennett, a friend of mine, it was his son. And I said, what a great gag that is.
Same fucking pinching that, did you? Like,
I thought, I can use that, I'll use that. And I used it, and I've used it like about 10 years ago. I use it every night, every time I work, and I use it, it gets a huge laugh.
It's just the humour of it though, isn't it? You know what I mean? But Frankie, you know, obviously you were flying, and then we had fucking lockdown, mate. How did that affect you? And
Tony, it's funny you should say that because we were flying.
That's what I mean. We were fucking.
We were doing theatres during the COVID, it really did destroy everything. It was so sad, you know, because in my lifetime, all the years I worked on the clubs,
You think it is me
we've
break here?
never had anything like that, COVID, and it came at that time. Now, we did do a few shows. We done Stanley Park in the open air.
Yeah.
You could do that, you know, and it was a sellout. It was great. We had a great night there. We done a couple of people's homes as well. Lads who had shows in the back gardens, you know, big houses in Thornby and stuff like that. We done a thing in Yorkshire. It was a drive-in movie theatre.
Yeah.
Fucking hard work, you know. So I'm on stage and all you can see is like, you know, like in that film, fucking, what was it called? Christine, about the car. You know, like that's just hundreds of cars. So I'm on stage, you know, and people are sitting in the cars.
And you just didn't feel right at all?
I was slagging the cars. I had to go, fucking hell, mate. Take that to Scrappy. Well, people are in the cars, and they started laughing and clapping and beeping. It was weird, very weird, you know. Just thank God that COVID's gone. It was terrible.
It was fucking, like you say, but for yourself, you were flying. It comes to a halt, and you know, you're fucking locked at home, and then obviously you can go out and it's so many people to this and all that shite. And
it got to the stage, we got a show booked in Middlesbrough, and we went up there. Will came up with me. We're doing this show, and at the time, it was this distancing thing where you had 3 people on a table, then there was like 6 feet, another table, then another table over there, and the room looked weird, you know. And what happened was, I'm coming out on stage, and they had the spoon, a fucking big wooden spoon, with a number on it to get served, you know.
yeah.
And like, they're all sitting there, the next thing is, so that this girl comes over like a surgeon with a fucking mask on and all that. It was horrible, you know.
Yeah, it was fucking...
Just thank God it's all gone.
Yeah, it's all one of them, innit? But do you get any of the, you know, A-listers or whatever ever ask you to go and do any bits and bobs with them, or, you know, or do...
Well, yeah, we've had a little bit of that. We've had, Will was telling me, they kept coming on to us all the time. What's that thing on the telly, something about cats or something? What's it called? 99 Cats or some fucking thing.
Is it like a
What's that
quiz
called?
show on
Yeah, the quiz show.
It's on Channel 4, is it?
Yeah.
I think, did you get asked to go on there, did you?
They keep coming on, you know, but I said to Will, I don't want to, I thought it was a bit of a thing, you know, like a bit of anti, like blue comedians, but it wasn't. So we done a couple of cameos, you know, we film a little video for them, you know.
8 out of 10 cats, wasn't it?
That's it, 8 out of 10 cats. They were coming on all the time. And we've got some like Jamie Bullard, he's a big fan. We've got some, you know...
Jimmy Bullard and that, yeah.
You'd be surprised who's a fan, and it's not what you think.
Well,
you know, you think...
But look, you've worked hard, and you make them laugh, and like you say, it's just an act, Frankie, where some people fucking think it's real life. Do you know what I mean?
It's just... I've had people... Tony, I've had people... I had a fella ring me once, and this is perfectly true. And he went, all right, Frank. Listen, Frank, what is it? He went, got a bit of trouble with my father-in-law, he's a bit of a prick, you know. I said, oh yeah. He went, he needs a belt. I said, yeah, why are you ringing me? You get mixed up with your stage persona.
Yeah.
Think you're a gangster, you see.
Think outside the fucking stage, you're
a gangster. Think that's, hey mate, you know, I'm on a, even this weekend, this Saturday, there was a fella kicking off a little bit in the crowd, you know. And shouting something out, and I savaged him, you know, and I said, hey mate, I'll punch your fucking head in and all that. Now I wouldn't do that normally in normal life with anyone, I'm not like that. But it's like an alter ego that you get, you know, you become someone else, like a Jekyll and Hyde, you know.
But that's what you're there to do, it's a fucking act.
It's an act, it's what people, but as you say, sometimes people mistake the act. But, you know.
I'm going to say this, me missus will fucking laugh about this, but I remember we had you on at the Heath. It was sold out, about 450, and I think you've done it a couple of times now, and you've sold out every time.
Yeah.
And like you saying about women and that, and my daughter was getting off, and I said to her, Olivia, don't get off yet. She went, Dad, I'm not arsed. She went, I'm tired, I want to go home. And she got up, and you just clocked her, and you went, hey, it's that fucking B. Smith there out of prison cell block H, and Olivia just went, like that. She just laughed. And then I could see my wife go, and I was like, And then I was like, Lynn, she went, I'm going to fucking, Tony, I'm going to fucking fill him in. And I went, so anyway, the show had finished, and she went, hey, you, I want to fucking wave with you. I went, hey, leave her out, it's a fucking act. And you went, yeah, Lynn. And I went, Olivia was laughing, no, do you know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. You've had some people fucking...
I've had some people who can't take it. I'd say 99% of people. What is with me, Tony, what I've noticed, the more savage I am picking on people, the bigger laugh I get.
So that gives you that bit more...
So I know, nobody knows better than me. I'm walking a fine line.
You know how to work the room, don't you?
Walking a fine line. I know how to work the room. But I've seen a lot of comics where I'd say, inoffensive, you know, they come on and I kind of went, they're scared of the audience. You've got to, it's like being a lion tamer. You can't be afraid of the crowd.
Yeah.
Because I've had to work in places where there's been trouble, if someone's come in. I've worked on this place, I was up with Kirby one night, I was doing this show and all that. The next thing is, these lads are in with bats, knocking fuck out of this fella, you know.
While you're on stage?
Yeah, all bellied up. And he'd bang, 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 bang. He's going, ah! Anyway, they're only there in and out in 2 minutes. You're fucked off. I'm still on the mic, and I was, well, that'll teach you.
You just cracked on.
Just carry on. Carry on. And believe it or not, I noticed years ago, if there's a little bit of friction, a little bit of trouble in a club, it doesn't half kind of like, I don't know, it relaxes them, makes them more prone to laugh, you know what I mean? Sometimes you get an audience, if they get in early, you haven't had too much to drink.
Tense and all that.
They're tense, and you know, it's hard getting a reaction from them.
Yeah.
We've had it, haven't we, with some of the speakers?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's hard getting through. So you've got to break the ice literally with them somehow. And sometimes there's a little bit of, nobody wants to see trouble.
Of course they don't
But,
know.
you know, it's like when we've done the beer cellar. There's a funny story. We've done the beer cellar. We'll do it at Christmas. Hope you can come. Last time we done the beer cellar, there was a fella downstairs, and he wasn't even a Scouser. He's from Derby. Beer cellar in Liverpool, right up at the Hilton. We always sell it out. It's a great night. We do it like a few times every year. We're doing it once a month at one stage, but I think we're doing it once every 2 months now because we've been busy. So he was downstairs at 6 o'clock, this huge fat fella, and he just started eating the buffet that you should have paid for. And a manager was only this little Irish fella. He came over
Asked him politely, like,
and he went and he said, "Hey, fuck off." Now the doorman hadn't arrived by then, so there was no one to back him up, you know. So he just kind of like swallowed it. He didn't want to know. So the next thing is, he comes upstairs and he's sitting there, big fat fella. So Will, my son, he's out first emceeing. So he comes out, ladies and gentlemen, it's got to be a great night and all this business. Got a support comedian on. So-and-so's a fella from Birmingham. I can't remember who we had on that night. Can't remember. It might have been Jack Ryan, I'm not sure. So-and-so. Fella starts kicking off. Fat fella. But really kicking off, snarling, you know.
And fucking nights.
Being aggressive, you know. I went, so I'm like that, Tony, in the dressing room. And obviously, over your own kids, even with Will, 30, 34. You go
Still
all, you go into a different thing, you don't, you know. And I saw him and I went, looking at him, it's all right, mate. All right. Carry on.
Cards marked.
So Will comes off, and Will said, fella's kicking off. I said, leave him with me. Now, the two doormen that came into the dressing room, done a little briefing.
As you do, yeah.
The lads downstairs and these two were upstairs. And the two downstairs were supposed to be upstairs, but they were downstairs. Anyway, so what happened was, I go on. Anyway, soon as I walked out, Tony, I can't help myself. I went, now fat ass. And he was a bit shocked at first. He just looked at me. I said, you look great on those 3 chairs. I said, I've seen you looking at that young bird, mate. Imagine you giving her one. It'd be like trying to get a marshmallow in a money box. Anyway, so he starts snarling, starts kicking off and all that, you know. So I told him to fuck off. Anyway, so it gets to the stage where he's ruining the night. He's shouting out all the time.
Just fucking, yeah, back in the night.
So I said, ladies and gentlemen, just give us a minute. I just get him out now. So I said to the two lads at the back, two doormen, I said, get him out. So anyway, they walk towards him. So they kind of, he's like that, you know, he's, I'll get you to me. And I said, fuck off, fatso, and all that. So they grabbed him, they grabbed an arm each, and I was trying to run him out of the club. And I couldn't help it, Tony. I said, hey, mate, bit late to start jogging, you fat twat. So he goes, fuck off, give him his due. He went like that with his elbow, bro. So he jumps up on a stage, comes towards me. Well, Tony, it's like someone hitting you in front of your mum or your bed, innit? So there's 400 people there, and everyone, he couldn't hear a pin drop, and he coming towards me like that. So I was, come on. Come on, you fuck, come like that, I'll fucking kill you like that. And he just, for a moment, he was shocked.
He stopped.
The next thing, good enough, 2 fucking big lads from downstairs.
Come up and fucking got a grip of him.
Whoa, dragged him away, gone. Yeah.
Fucking hell, so it was a close call.
Yeah, it was a close call. But Tony, that's another thing about me. I mean, certain situations, it's like everybody really, you react differently in different situations, don't you? You know, you might be in some, you might have a bit of trouble with someone, so going on, somebody says something to, and you might go like that, you know, oh, forget about it, it's not staying in here, or a fella's kicking off and all that. But
when it happens though, Frankie.
But if it happens in front of your daughter or something,
yeah,
or if, you know, you go, you're like me, old school, you go like that. Whoever you go, who you talking to, mate?
Hell, mate?
You know what I mean? You go into a different vibe. But I'm like that on stage. Although I'm not a big hard case.
No, same.
I've heard people say to me, oh, that Frankie Allen's a gang. I'm not a gangster. But it's just a stage persona. People get mixed up.
It's just your act, yeah.
It's only an act.
Yeah.
Having said that, I am like the Incredible Hulk, because on stage I do feel very confident.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I say things and I even come off and I'm driving home going, oh no. You know, I'm saying, fucking hell, Anna.
Do you do well on it when you're driving home?
Well, I'm going on to give this fella some, hey, you look at you. I was saying to this fella, last week I was saying, look, the fella, he had like a buck teeth, you know, and he was growing a beard. And I was going, hey, you prick, have you seen yourself, you ugly twat? I said, you know, when you were a fucking kid, even a bulldog wouldn't face you and all that. I said, look at your teeth, you look like a rat peeping through a toilet brush. And I was going, I said, look at your fucking teeth, look at your teeth. They're all broke, they're broke. I said, yeah, your teeth like a caveman's necklace. I said, fuck off, you fucking dickhead. I said, what could you do if there's any fucking trouble? I said, you're that skinny, your fingers couldn't even bone a fucking pleat. I said, you go to bed, you look like you're ripping this sheet. And when I got home, I went, oh, that wasn't nice, that, you know.
But that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
So you act on stage, Frankie.
Yeah.
That's what it's, but then the real Frankie, not the act Frankie, driving home, you're thinking about it because you're a normal fucking human
normal person.
You are,
yeah, I'm Marty. My name's not Frankie.
Yeah, I know. Well,
on the way home, I'm driving sometimes and I go, oh no, fucking hell. I said to this bird one night, she was shaking her fucking head, you know. And I said, hey, you, what are you shaking your fucking head for? I thought you disgusted. I said, fuck off. I said, Evel Knievel couldn't jump your fanny.
Oh.
And you know what? And my mother, Tony, was a good Catholic. If she heard me talk, she would have killed me.
Yeah, I was going to say that, yeah.
She would have killed me.
But look, you know, you're doing what you enjoy doing. You've worked hard at it and stuff. But that's what I want to get on to. You know, Will, your son, you know, he's your manager. He's your best mate. He looks after everything. He looks after the logistics of it all. Because, you know yourself, you try and, you know, your fucking phone's going. Yeah. Emails, people, you know, wanting you to go here, wanting you to go there. It's hard trying to balance it. And he does a great
thank
job.
God I don't do any of that now. No. I don't answer the phone.
Will
now
deals
and
with
then,
it all.
People get me number from someone that they know and all that, like a friend or someone might say to you, give us Frankie, they'll phone me and I just say, look, I'm sorry, I can't. You've got to go through Will, you know. And, you know, people like yourself have known for years, like I phoned you today, you know, and sometimes it's... I didn't like it at first because I was losing touch, and it was all my life's social, all my friends and things. Yeah. But Will said, no, Dad, you're too weak. He knows. He says, you're too weak for negotiating. Let me speak to them.
And look where you're at now, though. Yeah. You know, when that's only down to Will, and you know,
I can't get used to it. We were in Nottingham, and we were doing this show, and this fella got, and he had a pair of jeans on, just a young lad about 25, you know, and he said, Frankie, he said, I'd like to book you for my club, you know. So I said, speak to Will. So Will comes up and he's going, Will said, well, for the full show, you know.
Yeah.
I ran out into the yard and I went, oh no. Will said, what's on? I said, I can't hear that song. I said, I've been working. I started off working for 20 quid, 30 quid in pubs in the South End, you know. I said, he said, well, Dad, you've got to start with then negotiate with them. I've got to give them a ballpark fee. And then they try to split you in half. And then I go, well, can you pay this? And I said, yeah, but
You
can't
just
do
let
it,
Will
you know,
be,
it's not me.
yeah.
But Will's a brilliant businessman because he went to the Paul McCartney School, the Lipper School, and he was already bringing over bands, you know, before he started managing me.
So his background,
bringing bands for Prenton Park, putting them, you know, American bands he was putting in. So he's very, very clever. He's great, you know.
You've got a good what's the name?
I hate him because all the birds are after him. You've seen how handsome he is, haven't you?
Yeah. he's got a missus and that though, hasn't he? So
oh yeah, he's very faithful. He's with it.
Yeah.
But you know, birds say to me, hey, your dad and all that, your son, fuck off, you know.
I remember when, just a quick one before we got, what's the name? Do you remember we were in Tenerife? You done the Sky Bar in Tenerife?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had that.
I enjoyed that. It was great.
It was great. Well, the fella who he doesn't own it no more. It's another set of lads own it now. But I remember you were on that night, and I remember me, missus, and our Olivia, Will, his missus. I'll never forget it. That there was a woman, and you know what? That's what it's about. You know, people were on holiday, and he would like. He said to some woman, "Fucking sit down, Myra Hindley," or something like that. I don't remember you saying.
Hang on a minute. What was it? Rosie West.
Rose West, it was.
Yeah.
Oh my, and the Raw. The people in you know, on Fanaby must have heard the Raw because it was that funny. But you know, it's just great to see you going from, you know, and you haven't forgot your roots. Do you know what I mean?
Tony, it's a strange thing, as you say, because my alter ego on the stage, I'm very, very different than what I am off stage.
Yeah.
I'm in character now. I'm Frankie Allen now. But later on, you probably go, oh, Frankie's quiet off stage. But even then, now I haven't flown for years because I'm terrified of flying.
Yeah.
Can't fly. But I went to Tenerife. Now, got hypnotised and all that.
I remember,
fly.
yeah.
But the main thing, why I wanted to go, it's weird this, it was like a schizo thing. Like, Frankie Allen wanted to go, but I didn't.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, it's strange, isn't it? So I kind of made myself turn into Frankie, and when I got on the plane, I didn't care.
You were sound, you were
in character.
Yeah, no, it was brilliant. Yeah. It was fantastic.
It was a great couple of nights.
Yeah, it was brilliant. But so 2025 is going to be a big year for you.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, more theatre tours, and you're doing. I think if you remember speaking to Will, he was saying you're doing some more intimate gigs, more what's the names that you'd enjoy doing, like the social clubs and that.
Yeah, well, we do the social club. What we're doing now, what will, as you say, you're right about the COVID. We were selling out theatres before the COVID, you know.
Absolutely, selling out within.
Tony, we done 1,000 in what was it fucking called in Middlesbrough? Anyway, whatever. Billingham Theatre. Anyway, it was great. The COVID ruined everything, and then it was difficult to sell, and everyone's having a bad time. People being very cautious, going out,
spending money and
watching the money and all that. So what we do now, what Will's doing now, you know, if people ring up, we'll say, look, this is the fee. You put the security on.
You sell the
tickets and leaves it with them. And it's worked well. We still do some of our own shows as well, but we're kind of a mixture, you know.
But then you're going to go on a bit, you know, hopefully a big UK tour in next year.
Next year, yeah.
2025. Yeah. So,
Tony, to be honest with you, I shouldn't really be telling this while it's being filmed and all that. I'm not really a big fan of the theatres. Only because... Do you
make it more intimate, do
No,
you?
it's not that at all. Nobody gets up. You're in a theatre, so everyone's sitting down.
It's dark, you can't see anyone.
And they close the bar when you're on in the theatre, you know. So no one's getting up. You might get the odd one going to the toilet. When I'm in a club...
People are going for the piss.
Going for the piss. Go in the bar and all. So where's he going?
Or something,
little fella, hey mate, have you fell off a key ring? You know, like last week, a little fella, I work here. Oh, they must be short-staffed. Yeah. You've got a lot of stuff, and because I've done it for that long, I've got loads of material I can just have. But when they're sitting down, just looking at you, there's nothing you can do, you know.
Yeah, you've just got to.
So I prefer kind of a moving audience.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
You know,
you've got what's it, targets, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's walking
targets. But as I say, Tony, thanks to fellas like yourself.
No, for appreciate.
You know, and a couple of other people who helped me on the way, who kind of had faith in me when I wasn't known, you know.
But Frankie, you were building that. You were building that reputation, you know, for many years. I'm talking 15 years ago. You know, you were building that reputation then. You know, where your act was like, it was just raw. And it was not, like you say
weird.
now, sometimes you've got to be fucking careful.
Yeah, but
Because
Tony,
these phones, mate, these phones are like...
Yeah, but at the same time, the phones have made me, the video that flew around off somebody
it can be
off
good
the phone,
for one thing, but it can be...
And it's just been a terrible shock even now. You can't really get used to it. 2018, I think it was, when Will first took over, when the video went viral. I had to go to Portsmouth for it. They put me up and I was doing this. It was like a bar in the middle of Portsmouth. It was heaving, and I got the train down there. So this was the first time this ever happened. It was very weird. Got the train down there. Obviously, nobody recognised me on the train and going down there and all that. So it's just like the station in Portsmouth, similar to Lime Street. You walk down a hill when you come out of it. So I'm walking down this hill. So I saw these lads walking up, about 17 or 18. Fella went, Frankie. I went, what?
Recognised you?
Yeah. The power of the phone, you know, and I've been working
it's
like
gone viral
30 years and got nowhere. I went, Frankie. And he said, Frankie, we have a picture. I was, fucking hell.
And was you just not... Was
you
like,
just knocked me sideways.
Wow, fucking hell. But
I thought I couldn't get on it, you know what I mean?
But if you're getting 30 million fucking views for the, you know,
well, that's
you're bound to be recognised.
It took a long time to kind of get used to it. And then one morning I went out, and I was still living up in Walton then. And I'm going down Breck Road, or Townsend Avenue, going down Breck Road. And I saw this van, and it was blowing the fucking horn like mad. And I said, hang on a minute. I don't remember cutting them up with the lights or anything.
I haven't done anything.
I haven't done nothing, you know. Yeah. I thought, fucking hell. So he come up behind me, nearly bumping me. I said, oh my God. And Tony, I'm like yourself, I'm one of the lads, you know. I'll have a scrap if I have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
But I hadn't had a cup of tea. I like coffee first thing in the morning, so every morning...
Set you up for the day.
Straight out for a cup of coffee, you know, get the breakfast. So I went, what the fuck's this? So he pulled up next to me at the lights. So I went, put the window down. So I started screaming at the fella. And he went, Frankie, no, we want a picture. That's all it was. Couldn't get used to it. So they pulled up and we got on the pavement. They all wanted pictures and all that. It is weird, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's Frankie, do you know what though? You've worked your backside off to get there, mate.
Fucking nearly killed me, Tony.
On Townsend Avenue. Fucking hell.
You can't believe it, can you? But, I mean, you get used to it in the end.
Yeah.
Every day, you know, someone in a car or whatever. Or just people when I'm in the shops will stop me, can have a picture and all that. You know, it's nice, but you do get used to it.
Yeah, I'm buzzing today, you know, to see where it started to where, and there's still plenty more to give.
I'm sorry, to be honest with you, Tony. I'm sorry, really, Howard's not here to see the success that I've had, you know.
Yeah, and you still, you know, I'm sure he'll be looking down, mate.
Howard Kendall.
You know, I'm sure he'll...
And to be honest with you, I am a red, and I don't make any, you know, thing. I'm not trying to say I'm a blue or anything like that. But I bumped into a guy, and he's a security guard. He's got his own security company. And he said, Frankie, you know, you're a great comedian and all that, but don't ever go in the brick, you know. I said, why? He said, all the Everton fans hate you because of the Everton joke, dragging me dead dad to Goodison.
Yeah.
I said, yeah. I said, look, but Tony, what everyone forgets, and I'm not telling lies again, I've done hundreds of Everton shows over the years. Used to do a lot in the camp field.
Yeah.
They used to put shows on there. Bernie Sully used to put a lot of Everton shows on in there. Cronin used to do them and all that. Done a lot of Everton.
Nichols and all that as well.
Andy Nick. But I used to do the joke about Liverpool dragging me dead dad to Anfield.
You're just mixing it up.
Mixed it up.
Fucking on.
So much so I remember doing.
Don't go in the brick.
My dad died. I was doing the camp field. And I went on, all the Everton lads, they're all going to Goodison. Oh, my dad just died. Left an owner's will, I want to be buried, you know, and all this with my Liverpool shirt. And fucking my mum said, oh, there's 2 tickets in the door here to watch Liverpool, taking the match, and drag me dead dad to Anfield. And we're watching Liverpool. And I went for the piss at half time. When I come back, my dad had fucked off. Yeah, but Tony's been fucking bull.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
Then I started telling her a joke and they all started shouting, Frankie, tell it again. Tony, I ended up telling it 4 times, you know, the same joke. He was so made up. But a lot of the Evertonians have gone, he does that joke, but I've done it about Liverpool as well.
Yeah,
Just swapped it round.
That's it, that's all
And
it
I've
is.
done it in Manchester about Man City for United fans.
Exactly.
So people could be a bit sad. I don't go to Brick anyway, you know. But I mean,
I think Mark who owns the Brick, I'm sure he'd fucking look after you.
Yeah,
anyway,
I know. I remember Mark. He's a good lad. Yeah,
he's all right, Mark. He's
So no, it's fantastic. I mean, I don't know what a lot of people are bitter about Liverpool and Everton, but I never have been. The way I look at it,
it's a job for you, Frankie.
not only that, it's the city for me.
Yeah.
I always say, if Everton, I remember when I was a kid, Everton playing Sheffield Wednesday, you know, the cup final, I was supporting Everton. It's fucking, you know, it was 2 minutes from where I was born. How can you not support them if they're doing well, you know? So I'm like bipartisan, like to call myself. If Everton are doing well, I'm made up. And nobody goes, oh yeah, or Liverpool. Yeah, it's great, you know.
No,
But Everton are very funny to me. I'll tell you why.
fucking been funny to me for the last fucking 30
Tony,
fucking
I'll tell
years.
you why they're funny. I don't know Evertonians take this the wrong way. Everton fans, they've got no fear with regard to, because of working all over the UK, you pick things up, little stories. And I went down to Southampton. I'm working at Southampton, and some of these lads at the bar going on about Everton. So what are you on about? He said, Frankie, he said, there's an estate in Southampton called Fairhaven or something like that. I said, oh yeah. He said, that's rough, you know, it's terrible. People are getting popped, shot and all that and slashed and all that business. I said, yeah. What are you telling me for? He said, but they're the ones that go to match. They're the main crew that go to watch Southampton. I said, yeah. He said, Frankie, can you just explain something to me? I said, what is it? He said, everyone avoids it, all the fans from all over the UK. Nobody will go near it, you know. He said, when the Everton fans come, they ask to be taken there.
To be escorted through or fucking walk through.
No, in taxis. They want to go there for the Everton go looking for them. Yeah.
I'm fucking going to Southampton on Saturday as well, got them away.
Yeah, he said they go looking for, the Evertonians go looking for the roughest parts. They go, and I went, well, that's what they're like and all that. They're mad, aren't they?
Listen, crackers, absolutely bonkers, but...
I went to Patelli. I've got to tell you this story before we go, if you've got enough time. This is how crazy they are. I was working in a place called Blanau Festiniog. It was about 15 years ago. Got in there, and a fella had a brewery attached to the club, and there was caravans, and I stayed in one of the caravans, and it was great, you know, overnight. I was drinking there. And Midland, no, Blanau Festiniog, forest everywhere and all that. So at the bar, the manager, the owner, come up to me, and he went, Frankie? I said, yeah. He said, Yo, I said, yeah. He said, comedian. I said, that's me for the night. Oh, yes, very good. I've heard about you. He said, Scouser. I said, yeah. I said, yeah. He went, oh, he said, Scousers. Oh, Frankie, we've had trouble here. I said, what happened? In the summer, he said, Scousers were here, staying in the caravan. I said, oh, yeah. 8 of them. I said, oh, yeah. Dancing with everyone's wives and girlfriends, taking them into their caravan, smoking drugs. I said, oh yeah. There was a lot of, the boys, the Hells Angels were here. They come in here. They had some trouble with them. I said, go away. Oh yes. He said, because they were with the local girls, he said, they started on the Scousers. Now there was about 25 of them. They went in the car park. He said, but the Scousers gave as good as they got. I said, oh yeah. He said, but it's all forgotten, you know. So I said, oh yeah. So he went, I said, okay. I said, when was this, mate? It was September then. He said, I think it was July. I said, you want to be careful, you know. Why is that, Frank? I said, because it might come back. Oh no, Frankie. From my house, it's 120 miles to Liverpool. I said, no, don't worry about that. They're not worried about that. If they think they were outnumbered and it was not fair, if it was unfair, they'll come back. Because they have to redress the balance, you see. That was...
That's the what's the name.
Too many. They don't like bullies. He went, oh, fuck it. They're not going to come back 6 months later, he said, for 125 miles. I went back there the next February after Christmas. And I went in, and he ran up to me and he went, Frankie, you all right? Those lads came back here. They ran in with big sticks. I said, baseball bats. He went, oh yes, just like in America. He said, hitting everyone in the club, even women. That's what happened. He said, Gwyneth, you know, the main greaser, they dragged him out and said to everyone else, stay there. He said they dragged him into a car park. The screams were terrible. And all I could hear with the hit, all you could hear was, you cunt. Anyway, I was, fucking hell, he said. Then they said, as quick as they were here, they'd gone. I said, we got the ambulance and the police arrived. I said, fucking hell. I didn't want to blow them up, you know. So I said, okay. He said, Gwyn, very badly injured, Frankie, very hurt. His eye is detached, you know, with the bats. I said, would they start? I know, Frankie. But I didn't expect all that to come back like that, you know, after all this time. I said, I'm not really worried about the time. It doesn't come into it, you know. So he went, it's terrible, I don't know what to do. I said, well, what about the police? What did they say? He said, Frankie, you will not believe what I'm telling you. I said, what did they say? They blocked off the main Portmatic Road, the A547. I said, did you get them? They must have gone another way. They went through the forest, maybe. I don't know how they got there. So I said, what about the car, the CC? Oh, yes, the car. They stole in the rail. Stolen car. They stole a car. I'd come down here in a stolen car. I said, fucking hell. I said, so we've got no chance of ever catching them now. He said, I don't know. So then all night he's sitting there and he's going on, would you like a drink, Frankie, and all that. So he says, Frankie, can you tell me something? I said, what is it? He said, you know, during that 7 months it was, did they forget about the trouble? I said, oh, yeah. Getting on with their lives and all that. I said, he forgot about it. So, but at the same time, it was on the mind, you know. He went, oh. He said, what kind of people are you?
Scousers.
Scousers. And I went, to be honest with you, Tony, I was made up, you know. I was made up.
Oh, fuck.
No one heckled me that night. All those greasers were there. No one heckled me, you know what I mean? Yeah. Funny, innit? But they are a different breed, you know. Different breed.
Unbelievable, Frankie. That's just fucking quality. But I mean, story-wise. But Frank, I just want to say, listen, it's been a brilliant
Tony, lovely to see you.
No, I appreciate you, you know, giving your time up and coming on and, you know, coming on our podcast, The Good, The Bad, and it's certainly been The Good, The Bad and The Ugly. I just want to say, Frankie, thank you so much for coming
I've enjoyed it.
Thanks so much.
Thanks very much,
Thanks, mate.